Are you one of those people that are dead, but you're still breathing? You're faking living. You're just breathing, but you're really dead because you have no heart for what it is that's happening in your life. Well, I'm Apostle Bacer J Baker, who is a doctor in psychology, and I'm going to take the Bible and biblical science in order to help you, if you want it, to assist those people that want to really be alive, to actually, for the first time, some of you actually be alive. You know, I've helped so many people to reach this point. I have some notes here so that I won't get off script, because I can go on uh, bunny trails, rabbit trails, all kinds of trails, because I have so much that I can do. But I've made some specific notes that I want to hit for you. So that's why I'm looking down, not looking directly at you. Sometimes I know that's supposed to be proper etiquette, and I'm working on that. Anyway, so many people are walking around and they're really dead. They grin, but they don't have no life. They laugh, but their laugh is false and phony. It's dead. You know, something happened the other day. I was blowing the shofar out by outside of my office, my ministry office. I had blown that same shofar in my house. I love the sound of shofar, and it means a whole lot of different things. Some things it's not, we blow it when it's not, but you know, it does have its meaning biblically, because I'm even studying on that, the difference between the trumpets and the shofar, the horn, and all that. But that's neither here nor there. But at any rate, I was blowing it, and I blew it inside of my house. It was so clear. And I actually have two, a small one and a large one. And then what happened is I was at the ministry, and I just got this inkling from the Spirit of God to blow it outside. Well, I blew it outside, and the sound was just totally different. It was ugly almost. And I'm saying, what is this? What is this? And it was the atmosphere, the spirit, the energy that was around that place was different than the energy on the inside. Now, why do I tell you that story? I tell you that story because I want you to realize whatever the energy is, because energy is energy. It can change forms, but it stays energy. I am a spirit, and I operate in the spirit, but I'm in a natural body. Well, those things that happened to you in the past, remember we talked on the other program, and part one of this, we talked about those things that have made you so that here you are, you're dead, but yet you're still breathing. You're pretending to be alive. And I'm not going to go through all of them, so you can go back and watch part one, and be sure to share this with friends. There's people that you know that are probably going through this, and this will help them. If they say, I don't like this, I don't even want to live. I have had so many people, and the reason that this is so dear to my heart, I had a granddaughter that I was not aware of where she was in her heart, in her mind, in the different things. And she ended her life. She ended her life prematurely. And so it's one of those things that I don't want to see that happen to anyone else. Neither does her mother, neither does her brother, neither does her aunts, neither do any of them want to see that. To see that happen, or to see someone do that to themselves. Not only her, I've had clients, I've had people that started to come in, and because they could not focus enough or give it enough time, because they had tried all of these different times in order to do something. I've had it so that they killed themselves. And what's happening now is something that I think is even just as bad, is pretending to be alive while you're the walking dead. You're still breathing, you're still eating, you're still interacting with people, but there's no life. Let's get rid of that. Let's start on the road of your really being alive to the purpose that you have. Many times what happens is, here, these people, you see, I'm a person, I never get embarrassed. You can't embarrass me. You can't even offend me. Okay, why is that? Because you can't dishonor me or disrespect me. And you say, well, why not? I mean, who do you think you are? I don't think anything. I know who I am. Number one is this, because now this is really important, and what I'm talking to you about will help to change your life. Okay, will help to change who it is that you are. I enjoy life. I'm almost 80 years old, and as you know, I will stay almost 80. I will stay almost 80 until I'm 120. You'll never hear me say I'm 80 or whatever it is. I will be almost, because as long as it's around on whichever side it is, it really doesn't matter. Anyway, that's my own joke for myself. Uh, but what it is this: I carry the respect. I carry the knowing of who it is that I am. I carry honoring who it is that I am. And then I carry a power on the inside of me to know what it is that I got through. I have gotten through so many things that have happened in my life. Okay. I have gotten through so many things that people said I was or I wasn't. So many prophecies or words that they had spoken as they pointed in my face, as a child, as an adult, as a wife, as a woman, as having people in my life, those that were supposed to be important to me, those that were supposed to do this. But one of the things of it is this: I know who I am, and the areas in my life that I find when I something happens, when it's like, why aren't I moving past this? Okay. And then I have to go and say, okay, where don't I know me? Where am I not living in the image and the likeness of God in this? And it's not a religious thing, please. I am so over all that religious stuff. Don't give me all them hallelujah, glory to God's and quoting the scripture and whatever it is, and your life is trash. I don't want that. Okay. That is not what I'm talking about. And that's another reason why I let you know I'm apostle. So I'm not anti-Bible. And I'll also let you know that I'm a doctor in psychology, not licensed by the state of California or any other person, because I use the Bible rather than the DSM anything. I don't want the other one. I'm good. Okay. But one of the things of it is this: when you really realize, when you identify with who it is that you really are, then nobody can stop you from achieving. I have started at my age. I've started a new business. I'm actually doing it right now. Why is that? Because as long as I'm here on this earth, I might as well live it to the fullest. Now you say that to yourself. Start to say that as long as I'm here on this earth, I'm going to live it to the fullest. I am not going to leave any of the things in this world that I don't have to. I am going to live to the fullest. The fear of scrutiny, fear of somebody saying, well, is she really qualified? I'm an expert what it is that I do. I mean, I am, the book that I'm writing right now on it's going to help you with that also. But I know who it is that I know who it is. I know how it is that I can help people. I have done this for over 40 years. It's been longer than that, but it's been since the 60s. So whatever it is, I have helped people to move from one place to the other. But first thing I had to do was to put my own mask on and move my own self, because I was a mess. I was a living mess. Okay. And if it can work for me, it can work for anybody. Some of the clients that I've had, that's what they say. If it worked for them, it can work for anyone. So that's where the referrals and that's where those things, but it's only if you really want it. I'm not talking to the people that don't want it, but those that do. If you find yourself being embarrassed or humiliating, oh, that was humiliating, and I'll never go out again. That's things that's happening to people. Why is that? Because number one, what you're doing is that you're associating yourself with what it is that they said about you. You're associating yourself with what it is that you said about you way back then. You're associating, you are becoming one with that statement. One with that. See, and just as you can become one with the negative, why don't you become one with the truth? If you become one with that evil, then you can become one with that truth. The same principle works both ways. Every coin has two sides. There's a good and there's a bad. There's a positive, there's a negative. Everything, nothing runs without a positive and a negative. Your car does not run without a positive and a negative because it has a battery. There's a battery in you. There's positive things that will happen in your life, and there's negative things that will happen in your life. It's all depends on what you choose to do with those things. Okay, they're gonna happen. I mean, they're gonna happen, baby. Ain't no two ways about it. They're gonna happen. they're going to happen. But it's what you choose to do and how you choose to where you choose to put them in your puzzle of life. Okay, here it is. Sometimes they can be debilitating. Here it is that people will go and stay in their house and stay in bed because of something, because of some fear. They're gonna say this about me. I can't go because I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too this. I'm too that. I'm too the other. Stop saying those I am things about yourself. I am prosperity. That's what you need to start to say. I am. And when you speak that, you're talking health wise, you're talking financial wise, you're talking relationships, you're talking every sphere of your life. And you're allowing, when you say this, you're allowing the I am, the Almighty God, to enter into what it is that's being worked through you. Yes, I'm talking about the Bible. I'm an apostle. I'm one that I believe in the Bible. Everything in my life, everything good in my life happened because I follow the Bible. I follow what it is that God says. That is my DSM. That's my diagnostic statistical manual. That's my governmental manual. That's my manual. And whether if it's yours, great. If it's not, great. I mean, I'm great with it either way. But you can also, I don't care whether you can take these principles because why? God is so off the hook. God is so wonderful that he says this. He says that his principles will work for anybody. They'll work for you, whether you believe him or not. By the time you get to the end of it, you might. Okay. So here it is. You have an abnormal fear. Somebody, well, it's a phobia. It's, no, I'm not going there. What it is a thought. It's a thought about you. You're thinking thoughts about yourself that were planted in your brain years ago. See, people don't want to see this. Many times people don't want to accept this fact that before you got to what your husband, your wife, your job, your uncle, your cousin, before you got to the part of someone in your just near far future said to you, there was something that happened to you before that you never dealt with. And until you go back and confront that, and it's already in the forefront of your mind because these are the things that keep happening. It stopped you and stopped you. It stopped you from decent relationships. It stopped you from having proper relationships. It stopped you at a certain point where, okay, I can't lose weight past this point. Every time I do this and I see that I've gained progress and whatever it is, I start to eat. I can't get over this drinking because it's one of these things that happen. You have all of these excuses. Why is that? Because you've chosen, powerful word, you have chosen to not decide, to not separate, to not make a final, cut them off. I cut the neck off of this. You've decided not to do what David did. David not only knocked out the Goliath down. See, many of you have knocked Goliath down in your life, but you didn't go cut off his head. You did not go cut off his head and see, David knew that he was a covenant man. All of it comes out of the Bible. All of it comes out of the Bible. But what he did, he had already spoken. He says, this is what it is that I'm going to do. When I knock you down, this is what it is that I'm going to do. And he did it because there was no other choice. He went and he cut off the head. In my life, and I've taught my clients, I have this thing called Theraco. It's part therapy and then coaching. It's not, in-depth therapy. What it is this is the therapeutic part, and the other part is the coaching, right? This is what I'm doing right now on this program. Okay, so what happened is this: he spoke what it is that he wanted. He spoke what it is that he was going to do, and then he followed it up. He could have just knocked him down. He could have waited for somebody else. He could have froze. But his self-image, his self-ability, how it is that he reminded himself. He didn't remind himself that his father did not even think he was worthy to come in when the prophet came. He did not concern himself when he knew that they looked at him as being a bastard, and that word is not a cuss word. Being of another mother, and probably a concubine, because as you search it out, you can see what it is that he says about himself. He did not look at how it is that his brothers thought about him. He did not look at how it is that his family thought about him. They didn't think too highly of him. But that did not deter him from doing what it was that was going to make him king. That did not deter him from achieving. That will not deter you from cheating. I mean, from achieving. I know they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words can hurt you, but words can always help you too. You've heard me say before, God gave me this once, and I had never heard anybody say this: all words are not equal. All words do not have the same power. Otherwise, the words that people have spoken about the nation, the words that people had spoken about me, the words that they have spoken about you, they would be set in granite. They would be set in cement. They would be unchangeable. But my words that proceed out of my mouth, because they came from God, they came from the picture that he gave me on the inside about who it is that I am. My words spoken with precision. My words were spoken with belief behind it. My words trump your words. I don't care what this one says, whether it's your mother, whether it's your father, whether it's your neighborhood, whether it's the whole group. Black people can't do this. White people can't do this. Mexicans can't do this. Asians can't do this. This is where you belong. This is what's happening. This is this. I don't care about your words. I care about the ones that I speak. And this is something that is really, really important, because if you start to do that, then you will start to experience an extreme change in your life. You start to speak to yourself about who it is that you are. You go back, and I had spoken to some of the things that the teachers told me as a little child that they spoke. I spoke to those, and I confronted them, and I let them know that is not what I see. Did you hear what I said? That is not what I see. I don't see that picture. I don't see me like that. I do not see me like that. And sometimes you got to get in your face. I see me as this. See, I see me still young. I see me still active. I see me. I live in a house that has 2 stories in it. I go up and down those stairs, I don't know how many times a day. And as I already told you, I'm almost 80 years old, and I will be almost 80 until I'm 120. And many people, the older they get, the more comfort they want. They don't want to have to do that. But I want my hips. I want I want the lubricants. I want the challenge. I always want a challenge. When you stop challenging yourself, then you might as well you're dead man walking. You're dead, but you're still breathing. Okay. Another thing I want you to realize is that those things that happen in your past, they cannot harm you. Those words cannot harm you unless you allow for them to harm you. You have to give them permission to continue to harm you. So therefore, when you speak to them and you tell them, no, back up, and you back them all the way up until where they came out of somebody else's mouth, and you tell them, here, I'm giving this back to you for you to eat. Let them eat their own words. And then when they eat them, and I'm visual. I mean, I see things, right? And I'm seeing them eat it, not just eat it, but swallow it. So it's gone. Those words don't exist in my life anymore. They're non-existent in my world. You choose what's existent in your world. You choose the words that can win. And so therefore, they didn't grow up with me. See, many of you, those words grew up with you. That's why you weren't able to stand. You weren't able to get rid of this. You weren't able to overcome here. You're not able to take your business to a 5 or a 10 times to scale your businesses or to do anything else. You freeze. Why is that? Because those words keep coming back in your head. You'll never amount to anything. You can't do it. Who do you think you are? See, but I don't hear those anymore. Okay, I'm going on because we've got a few minutes to do this. All right, you can't avoid doing this. There's steps that you're going to have, that you need to take in order to have what it is. And it will be unpleasant. These things are unpleasant, but that's all that they are. They're unpleasant. The Bible says that the adversary, that the devil roams around as a roaring lion. God says this, Jesus says, I've overcome him. And so the greater one is on the inside of you. You're the real lion and he's the fake. He's the one that's been blown up. And then they got this microphone on the inside of him and he's blasting these things into your life. And I'm talking about this on a personal level. I'm not talking about the spiritual things. I'm not talking about the spirits out there, because there are spirits that have been unleashed on nations and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. This is about you. You got it? This is me and you, me and you, me and you. This is you. This is your personal life. Okay. I'm not being a universal apostle or a doctor or whatever it is. I'm talking about you personally. I want you to change. I want you to come alive. I want you to know that you're alive and you're not dead. Okay. So and some of you right now are becoming frightened at what it is that I'm saying, because you know what I'm saying is true and it's scary to you. You're going to work past the scare. Okay. And you're going to dare to do this. And I'm not trying to rhyme stuff, but I am right now. You're going to walk past the scare and dare, because you're not by yourself. You're going to be able to play this over and over, and you're going to hear this and you're going to know that you can do this. All right. These are only thoughts, and thoughts, the thoughts that you have, you're going to have to exchange those thoughts. Have you ever bought something and you decided that you were going to have to exchange it? I don't like to exchange a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I like Amazon because I can just send things back that I don't like or whatever it is. But most of the time I don't exchange. Why is that? Because if you sent me the wrong thing now, you're going to send me the wrong thing again. So I just forget it, or call, the lady at Neiman Marcus or someplace else, or one of the different stores, or get somebody to go and get it for me so that they can bring me the right thing. But if you've ever had to exchange something, what you do is you give the receipt. So you're going to give the receipt back because you accepted that receipt. You accepted that thing. The other day, I had done some shopping and I ordered some vacuum cleaners because I like vacuum cleaners. My cleaning lady said, "Oh, you bought us a new vacuum cleaner, right?" And so I did, because I like to see them work. At any rate, but what happened is the place that I ordered them from, their machine messed up. They sent me 8 vacuum cleaners. I did not order 8 vacuum cleaners. So what did I do? I happened to be here when the UPS person came and I rejected them. Okay, why am I giving you this story? There's things that that are coming up. There will be the thoughts when you're dealing with what it is that happened way long time ago. Okay, there's going to be the thoughts that are going to come up into your head. You can't do anything about it. You haven't been able to do anything about it in 20 years and 30 years and 40 years and 50 years and 60 years. You're almost 90 and you ain't been able to do. I don't care how old you are chronologically. You can still refuse. You can refuse the package. No, you have the wrong. No, no, I don't accept this. The wrong address. Okay. I've given that back. And what I've done is I've kept what it is that I want. I kept 2 of the vacuum cleaners because I have one for my daughter. Anyway, I kept 2 of them. Why? I don't want all the rest of them, because all the rest of them wasn't going to do me any good. So what's going to happen now? What we're doing right now is this. I want to take the things of my past that are going to do me good. the things that I learned, the things that I got, not what was taught to me in school, not how I can walk and rote, not how I can do that, but I realized something, that because I have these great ideas, because I have this exaggerated imagination. One of my daughters, Alonzi, she has this just this imagination. She's been imagining, I think, since she was born. She was probably imagining what she was still on the inside of me, what it would be to be on the outside. And she always used to say, "My real mother is the queen." And she didn't realize she was prophesying, because I am. I'm a king. I'm a king in heaven. I'm a son of God in heaven. But I'm a royalty. I'm a queen here in this earth. I am royalty. So she knew that she was born to royalty, probably because she got everything that she wanted when she was growing up. I mean, it was all good. All right. You you deserve for this to happen. Why do I say you deserve it? Because God said so. He says, I put it here. I put all of these things here for you to freely enjoy. I know that I've only touched on these subjects and stuff, but if you want to get in touch with me about about the other part of what it is that I do, then you can contact me on DRB Click Brain, Dr. B Clickbrain at gmail.com. It should come up on your screen. If you'd like to give into the ministry, which is a totally different part, you don't have to, but if you'd like to, you can. And the information is there for you to do that. There's the information. You can sow through Cash App and all of those things. And if you don't mind, stick up the Click Brain. And then I'm out of here in just a minute, because I'm here still telling it like it is. And I know. Let me know if this helped you at all. Let me know how you have decided that you're not going to be a dead person, but still walking around breathing God's earth, God's air. He gave you his air for you to be able to breathe, to walk, to live an exciting life. And I want to see it. I want to hear about it. Bye-bye. Don't be dead while still alive. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First.